now creating a game control sprite to make the levels change now that we have different levels and set the start positions of the objects on each level. You're going to need to build some control code. We're going to need it to be in its own sprite. So we are going to make a blank sprite. So we're just going to be, sorry, I didn't mean choose sprite. We're going to go to create our own sprite in the paint and just leave it completely blank. Then we're going to go over to the variables, and we are going to create a variable called bone, and the bone variable is going to count the number of bones that's left on each level, and the other variable called level over will show where the sprite or the character finishes that different level. Now, remember, they appear over here on the stage unless we uncheck them. So I'm unchecking those boxes. The sprite that we created here that's just blank, that doesn't show up, is going to be called game control. We're going to create a control for the game control sprite. What it's going to be is the code is going to repeat a loop for every level, and it's going to make messages for start and win. So as usual, we'll go to events, and we are going to do when the flag is clicked. Now, we are going to go to the variables, and we have a level. So we are doing levels. Set level to 1, because that's the level we want the game to start on. Then you're going to go to control and grab a repeat block. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to repeat different things. So we're repeating all this stuff until the level equals our ending, which is our level 4. Now, if you make different levels, you'll obviously change that different. So I need to find my operator with the equal sign and put it in here in the repeat until. Oops, I have my repeat until. I'm putting my equal operator in, and what are we equaling it to? Till the variable of level is equal to the number 4. So we're going to change that to 4. So what we want to do is we need to set the bones. So the setup message tells all the sprites what to do. But first, we have to how many bones we have collected. So we're going to set the bones to 0. Then we are going to go find a broadcast message. Broadcast comes under event, and what we want to do is we want to broadcast, set up, and wait. Now, we do not have a setup yet. We simply click and pick new message and call it set up. What this is going to do, it's going to tell the sprites to move all to the correct positions, set up and wait. Then we are going to broadcast start to let them know that the game needs to start. So I need to make that new message from start. And I say OK. Start tells all the sprites that this level is now running and makes them check for collisions or to move. Now, we need to wait until the level is over. So once again, that's under control. And we're going to grab the wait until, not the wait. We need to find wait until. So we're going to wait until, and we need to go back to the operators and grab our equals. And we're saying wait until the variable of level is equal to 1. What this is, level over, my bad, level over is equal to 1. So this is basically saying level over is set to 1 when the player reaches that portal, signaling it to end the level. Then we're going to need to change the level by 1 so it moves. And then the last one is, if it gets to the last level, we are going to broadcast win. That's going to go underneath. It's not part of the repeat. So I'm broadcasting a new message of win. What this code does is it goes around this repeat loop and moves on to the next block, which is a win message to say the player is won. The first broadcast is the message set up. which gets the sprites and the background in position for the start of the level. It waits for all the receiving blocks to finish setting up before moving on. Then start message is sent. This triggers all the working code blocks for the level, which moves the sprites and looks out for collisions. Now we have to go back to the player block and change the main code, this one, to be triggered with the start message. So instead of when the flag is clicked, go to the events and we're going to pick when I receive. So I'm looking for when I receive, and what message am I looking for? I'm looking for start. With the player block selected, we're going to add this next code to set its start position for each level when the setup message is received. So we're going to start with received. So when I receive the setup message. The next one is we're going to go to looks, and you're going to find the set effect. So I'm going. So here's set an effect. Now, what I'm looking for is ghost. So what this will do is this will make the player block disappear, but it'll still actually be there. It's not deleting it, so it will still be able to detect collisions. So it's just going to hide it. It's differently than hiding it, because hiding it then means it's not there anymore. Ghost means it's just there, but just a ghosted version that you cannot see. Then we do not want anything to rotate. So I have to go and find set the rotation style to don't rotate, because we do not want it to flip around. So here's the messages that help dealing with the levels. So we need an if statement from control. So the first one is we go to the operator and we need the equals. So what we're basically saying is in the variables, we find the level. If level equals 1, it's telling us what position to go to. So if level equals 1, it wants us to go to negative 20y, x, 135y. So I'm just going to find the go to with the coordinates and set the right coordinates. So I'm going to go to x, negative 120, and y, 135. That's for the first level. Now I need to set it for the other two levels. So I need another if statement. And then I need to go to the operators and find the equal operator. Back to variables, level, and now I'm going to the second level. So if level 2, and then where are we going to on our XY axis? So I'm going to find the go to, and be careful. If there is a negative, you want to be negative, because remember, on the coordinate plane, negative 20 is different than positive 20. So make sure. So in this case, it's just regular 20, not negative, x, and 180y. And last but not least, we have to do it for the third level. So one more time, an if-then statement, go to my operator, get the equal operator, go to variable, grab my level, and make it level 3. So if we have now equal to level 1, level 2, and level 3. And where are we going after level 3? We're going to negative 30y, negative 30x, and 140y. The next thing we need to do is change the dogs code. So it is when, instead of when it's clicked, when I receive the start. So I'll change my event, when I receive, and start. So now you have control over your game and your levels.